brought to you in part by the Balanced Palate. AFIA Sports Training, committed to developing the sporting potential of future players in the U.S., UK, and across the world. And the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street. Hey everybody, Matt McCarthy at the Fantasy Sports Network, Studio 34 in New York City for Rugby Wrap-Up. I have Mr. Kiss Lensing here, Mr. Martin Pengelly, and we have this week's Community Corner piece brought to you in part by the Balanced Palate, holistic nutrition for optimal performance. Go to thebalancedpalate.com. Guys, let's check this out. John Olson, a.k.a. Frosty in many a rugby circle, on the horn with us. And John, you are a fellow New York Rugby Club member, but, you know, the rugby community has a family, right? And you have your family, and your family is in a time of need.
Indeed. Just a couple days ago, my sister, who lives in California, in Malibu, California, woke up to a text message telling her that they needed to evacuate, mandatory evacuation immediately. She looked outside. It looked like it was snowing out. The ashes were already falling. And so they evacuated. They were hoping, you know, they grabbed some clothes and got out of there, and they were hoping they'd be back, you know, if not that day or that night, then the next day. And unfortunately, the house burned down and they lost everything. They didn't have insurance at the time. We'll say they were between insurance carriers at the time, and they've got some clothes in the car, and, you know, I'm just looking to help them out as much as I can and see what I can do. So
just to clarify for people at home, when they hear the word Malibu or the location that is Malibu, they automatically think of Hollywood homes and second homes and all these wealthy people. But your family, your sister and your brother-in-law and their child are just regular folks. They were renting. You know, you can rent in Malibu too. I rent in New York City.
Yeah, a 2-bedroom condo. They're not, you know, I did read that a bunch of celebrities had their homes burned down. I guess, you know, it goes all around, but they're just a couple of working stiffs. You know, they enjoy the community in Malibu, and there are a bunch of people that live there that aren't celebrities, aren't rich and famous. You know, so they're having a hard time right now.
So my initial thought was, I think your nephew, you said, was 9 years old, right?
That's correct. Miles.
So Miles is without all his stuff, all his toys, everything. He's a Lego, right?
Yeah. That's one of the big things about this, is it's got to be really traumatic for this kid. He's 9 years old. He doesn't have all of his toys, which, you know, at that time is so important to you. Everything, anything he owned, his clothes, you know, it's all gone. So his birth certificate. We did talk about off camera that he was homeschooled. And I did bring up the potential that maybe he had something to do with this, so he didn't have to go to school anymore. I ran that by my sister, and
you would.
She didn't see the humor.
Always finding a little bit of levity, even in the worst situations. That's what rugby is all about. A little gallows humor, I suppose, right?
Always.
But in all seriousness, how can we help? Where can folks go to help?
Right now, I mean, they're homeless. They literally, my cousin in San Diego put them up for the weekend. They've got their car. They went back up today to Malibu to, you know, sift through the rubble. So there's nowhere. I want to send Miles a bunch of, you know, I just wanted to go on Amazon and order them all kinds of stuff, but there's nowhere to send it right now. They haven't figured out what they're going to do, where they're going to stay. I started a GoFundMe for them, and, you know, I sent you the link, so maybe we can post that or put a, you know, right down there, we can put a link to it or something. But that's really what I think is going to be the best for them right now. We got to get their housing situation settled, get some clothing, you know, toothpaste, toothbrushes. Then we got to start the arduous process of getting all their, you know, my sister can't work without her computer. She had a studio. She works online. So, you know, she had a lot of equipment and things like that burned down. We got to get her back to work. Find a house for them, you know. So right now, I think money is the most helpful thing if we can get, you know, to get them going. You know, they're not desperate or broke or anything, but we got to, you know, they've got a tremendous amount of expenses coming up, and I'd like to try and ease that burden a little bit.
All right, and if people want to send rugby swag, shirts, kits, stuff, because they don't have any clothes, and, you know, rugby swag is cool specifically for your nephew who might really enjoy getting some whatever, right? Because he's got nothing. So anything better than nothing is great. what would they reach out to you, and then maybe you can figure out an address on where to send stuff?
Yeah, if anyone wants to send me, if anyone would like to help with, if they've got, especially if they've got something for Miles, like you said, rugby swag, whatever, that would be great. They can reach out to me at John, JOHNS, as in Stephen Olsen, OLSEN, at gmail.com. And I will respond to them with an address where things can be sent.
That's awesome. But just to clarify and to eliminate any confusion, there's probably a ton of people out there that have known you for years only as Frosty.
That is, I've had people I lived with in college, I was roommates with, who, post-college had to somehow all of a sudden come up with a real name if they were calling me at an office or at home or something like that. And they're like, I don't know this guy's name.
Yeah. Well, we do now. And I feel your pain with your sister and your brother-in-law and your nephew. And the rugby community always rallies around this kind of thing. And hopefully you'll get some stuff. I don't have any doubt in my mind that some people will be reaching out and helping out in different ways.
Thanks, Matt. I really appreciate you getting this opportunity, or giving me this opportunity to come on the air and try and get some help from my sister. It means a lot, and I appreciate it. And thanks.
All right, my friend. John Olsen, a.k.a. Frosty, the best to you and your family.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
All right, tough stuff out there in California, but hopefully we can do something. These community corner pieces are important, and you guys know that the forest fires or the fires out there are damaging a lot of homes and injuring a lot of people, but the rugby community can rally around this one. And on that note, we are out of time. So for the Olsen family, Mr. Kiss Lensing, Mr. Martin Pengelly, I'm Matt McCarthy for Rugby Wrap Up, signing off.